Hey folks, welcome back to the Via Pinstriping page. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to be using the PB&J Mac TNT Size 0. This is a brush that was developed by my buddy Tom Hudak along with Mac Brush Company, and it is a synthetic blend hair with squirrel hair, so it's kind of a mix. This is a scrolling brush, so the ferrule is round and there is no kind of side to this brush, so it's round all the way. It's kind of similar to what you would consider a liner brush, except I feel like liner brushes usually have a square tip. So this is developed for scrolling. Maybe you can do outlining, but it's mostly developed for scrolling. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on a scroll design. We're going to do one of these scroll designs that kind of just goes out, right? So I've loaded the brush pretty good. You want to reduce maybe 30% more than you would if you were going to be doing regular pinstriping. Maybe even 40% more, because it really needs to be quite loose to be able to scroll. So to develop these types of designs, you're going to start off by doing some loops, right? So I'm going to start here. I'm going to work to the left. I'm going to do a couple of loops that go upwards, because that's sort of like the hardest one for me, right? One loop, two loop, right? And now right here, I'm actually going to cut back into that loop, but I'm going to press down and I'm going to give it a little swoop, right? I'm going to lift up as I go. Okay. Give it a little turn. It gives it a nice little tail. So now that is my upward section, right? The cool thing about scrolling is it takes up the same amount of space that a regular pinstriping design, but you'll see it takes almost no time to get there. So what you could, what you can charge to do a regular design, you could charge the same and knock it out with scrolling in like a quarter of the time. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to add a little bit of weight, right? So I'm going to start here. I'm going to very lightly pull and then start to push down as I follow that S curve, right? It's basically all that is an S curve, but you've pressed down to sort of develop this sort of a feather look, right? Lift up as you go. So lightly press down and start to lift as you go. Takes a little practice, but it's just like anything else. Over time, you figure it out. Right, so now we have the upward trajectory. Now we're gonna pick this up and I'm just gonna start here where the other loop is. I'm just going to connect to that, and I'm going to start to work my downward trajectory. Now, as you can see, this sort of has a tilt that goes to one way, and then the other section goes the other way, just to balance it out, right? So I've got this tilt going this way. I think I'm going to make this one tilt this way, right? Even though I'm going to start here, you're going to see me tilt towards the right, right? Tilt this way. And on this one, I'm just going to cut in. I'm going to cut through quickly instead of doing two loops, just to give it a little bit of bounce. Press down. Right here, I'm already feeling, as I was doing this, I'm already feeling like I'm running out of paint, right? No big deal. You just stop right there and you reload the brush. And I'm going to show you a little bit of the paletting. Generally, I can't because it's off camera, right? So I'm going to dip into my reducer, which is naphtha. You can also use turpentine, or you can use mineral spirits, whatever you would like, right? Just to give you all an idea of what I'm doing off camera. And that's paint in there. It's been slightly reduced. I put a little bit of naphtha in it to sort of loosen it up some, because it was sort of tacky. Every color, every brand of paint likes to come out a little bit different, so all of this is to feel how you like it, right? So there you go. I'm going to reduce. I'm going to reduce to taste. Let me make sure that the camera is not fuzzy. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty clear. Right, now I'm going to pick this back up. right here at the fat point, I'm just going to press down, try to match what I got going on, and now I can finish this loop, right? I'm going to finish it. I'm going to go around. And I'm actually going to press down and give it this real nice little fat section right there, right? So now I've gone this way with it, right? Now on this side, I've gone this way with it, right? To try to give it a little bit of flavor, a little bit of life. That's the key to these things in the end, is you want to try to make it kind of bounce correctly, right? And the way I know, to me, what looks right is because I've studied other folks' pinstriping designs, right? This is very much Steve Chiseka, in my opinion. And I'm sure he studied off of other folks, more, folks like Steve Kafka, right? The legends. So now what I'm going to do is, to give myself this a little bit more of a length, right? To give myself a tail like that, I'm going to start here, and I'm actually going to knock some of the paint off. So you'll see that, right? Knock a little bit of the paint off just to give myself a nice tip, right? Just to give myself a finer point. I'm just going to follow this very, very thin, and I'm going to press down heavy. That gives me that nice, I don't even know what you would call it. I guess a tail, right? I have this little gap here that I don't like, so I'm just going to fill that in. Right. If you're going to leave a gap, leave a gap. If you didn't intend to, fix it, right? So don't leave a gap if you did not intend to, and I did not intend to. And I think I'm going to do another one that follows that, right? So I'm just going to follow that, just to give it just a little bit more weight. Press down and lift up. Sort of little teardrop shapes, right? Now, I'm going to reduce some more. I've done my downward, I've done my upward. I'm going to peel this sticker off, and I'm going to do something that goes out, right? So, I think I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to give it one loop, two loops, and then I'm going to press down, and there's my out, right, with a nice swooping tail, and right back into itself, right? Real tight. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this side. So being that I've gone down, down, I think on this one I'm going to go up, right? So let's try to consider this. I'm going to make a circle, I'm going to cut through, and it's going to go upward because this one's going downward to give it balance, right? Right. So let's see, where do we want to pull this from? You know what? I'm going to pull it right here, and I'm going to actually cut back into it, right? So I'm going to go like this, cut back in, like that, cut back in, press down, and then give it that nice little swoop that goes upward. Boom. It's basically your design, right? Now, where you have these thick to thins, this is a nice spot to add a little bit of weight, right? To give one that follows that one, right? I like to kind of make them pointy to begin with. If you can manipulate it, right? Fix it. If it doesn't look as pointy as you'd like it to, fix it. A lot of pinstriping in the end is about fixing things as you go, because erasing sometimes is dangerous, right? You could eat into the paint or something like that. Now, I added weight on a couple of these. I'm going to do a couple of these, what Steve likes to call repeaters, but basically little teardrop shapes, right? So press down, lift, press down, lift, press down, lift, press down, lift, right? Gives it a little bit of weight there. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Press down, lift, press down, lift, press down, lift, press down, lift, right? It's getting muddled. It's getting muddled. Usually you do those in different colors, but that's just my opinion, right? It's sort of getting muddled. You know, these other ones are kind of hard to do sometimes upside down, but I'm gonna give it a shot, right? Press down and lift, press down and lift, press down and lift, just to give it a little bit of pop. And there you have it, folks. A little bit of scroll design, right? You can even extend this if you'd like. Come at it any which way direction if you'd like. And you can start messing around with different colors. I think the strength in scroll pinstriping is when you start to play with various colors, right? So these little repeaters would have been fantastic with a dark orange color or something like that. You can even do them, like a lot of them I have on the outside of the line, you can do them on the inside of the line as well. So it really just sort of reinforces what you already have there, right? Now, scroll again is one of those things that if you're gonna do it, you just gotta remember that you're gonna be going blind on half of your moves. It really takes a lot of practice, because at some point when I do these loops, I'm finished with this by the way, but I'm just gonna give you a little heads up. When I do these loops, right, I'm going here as I go. Right here, I'm going away from myself, and right here, I'm going blind, basically. Right? Right here is okay. This is unnatural, up and away from yourself, right? This is natural. This feels unnatural, and this is where people get a lot of them kickouts. I got a little teeny tiny one there, but they're not, you know, they're not a big deal. All you got to remember is to go slow and steady. And when you turn, when you make them turns that you're feeling a little bit unnatural, you slow down, right? You can slow way down, way down. You know how slow I did that? Right? If you want to do a teeny tiny one, you just sort of pivot, right? You don't have to move per se. You don't have to press down so hard. You just sort of pivot, right? And these brushes are fantastic. You can get a lot done with these brushes. It holds a lot of paint. You just got to remember, when you start to go real long distances, you're losing material. So you kind of, you know, it's always a good idea to try to reload. Because if you're working on a vehicle, you want that stuff to last. So you don't want to run out of material and it, you know, fade quickly, right? And when you do these as well, something that I've been playing around with even more is you don't have to give it that real nice swoop. You can actually, my design's gotten funky, so sorry y'all, I'm rambling, but you can pull the line, you can press down, and you can lift back up, right? It's almost like a bead. Pull the line, press down, finish the line, right? There's a lot of different ways to do these things. And you can create little wheat designs out of these, right? So press down, 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 press down. All right, folks. Well, there's my design, and there's my video. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what y'all think. Sorry it got a little bit weird on this one. All right, have a good night.